Okay, not cool. What the hell? So we've got the Six of Cups reversed. That's kind of what I was saying there, isn't it? The Six of Cups reversed with the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Okay. So Taurus is craving these cards to be the right way up. Okay. We want lasting generational wealth. We want to put two incomes together and have that security of knowing that we're building a future with someone. We want the Six of Cups. We want our soulmate. We're done with players. We're done with time wasters and people that are hot, you know. But they're Mr. Right Now, aren't they? Or they're Mrs. Right Now. Like, I want my person. It's been a while, guys, since I'm my person. Like, you feel like at the moment, Taurus, like you haven't got this. So, let's see what else comes out. Why am I so boiling hot? Ugh. The King of Wands. The King of Wands reversed. So, the King of Wands upright is an interesting energy for you, Taurus, because you're an earth sign, okay? So you're a Pentacles person. With the King of Wands, this is all about ego. This is all about ambition, self-motivation, you know, being high energy, high bravado, and creating goals and going for them and being arrogant about it, you know, like pushing people out the way. I think you're really lacking like self-esteem and confidence at the moment in terms of like your finances, your career, your like self-image. Like you're not feeling like a go-getter, you're not feeling like secure in terms of ego, you know, status. You may feel weakened, you may feel stuck. I mean, look, I didn't work for the last 6 weeks and there's nothing I could do about it, and now my DBS has arrived today and I've suddenly got work coming out my ears, and I asked the universe to make the channel successful. I got loads of personal inquiries for readings. So I'm not saying this is you all the time. I'm saying in the 3rd week of October you may feel like, or last week you may have felt like, you know, you haven't got shit going on. It's not even the reality either. It could be, you know, things that are outside of your control are kind of giving you the perception that you're stuck, but it's actually like we need the cogs to turn, like we need external realities to shift and change, and sometimes that involves waiting, but you perceive it as like, because you're the bull and you are like, you know, if you think about like a yak or something like that's like really muscular and strong, and you like to be hardworking and you like to keep, you know, chipping away at stuff and shifting that heavy load, and you will like graft relentlessly, to the point of exhaustion. And then when you're not getting results, you're like, well, that's not fair. How's that fair? But, you know, in terms of like opportunities, preparation meets opportunity. You're prepared, you are prepared, but you've got to sometimes wait for that opportunity, haven't you? Who've explained that right? It's difficult to wait because that means like sitting still or doing this and believing that something's going to come in, and when it hasn't come in for a while, like, huh? What's that about, you know? Yeah, like strength reversed. So this is feeling like, you know, we're starting to get a bit emotional, get a bit panicky. Maybe you're looking at your bank account and you're thinking, I don't like how this feels. I've not felt like this for a while. It's not comfortable. It doesn't seem, you know, like stuff's happening for me. It doesn't feel right. So you could have like lost your nerve a bit or got a bit worried or panicky when it comes to your success just lately. Let's see how your person's coming out. I'm sorry if you're feeling like that, Taurus. You're not alone. What is going on here? Your person has got heartbreak with the Three of Swords. Then they've got the Ace of Wands. Then they've got the Five of Pentacles. Then they've got the Six of Swords. Then they've got the Hierophant reversed. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, that's like depressive energy because someone is literally brokenhearted over you. And then there's this rebirth, and it's like we couldn't be happier, couldn't be more excited. The Five of Pentacles is like a lack mentality, so I don't know. Well, it doesn't have to be a mentality. It could be the situation. They could be lacking money themselves, or they could feel like they've been put out in the cold again by you, Taurus, or they could feel like that by other people. Maybe they're feeling down generally. This card in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck is two paupers outside a church, and it's all snowy and cold. And there's a beautiful coloured stained glass window, and inside there's a light on, and you know, it's people that need salvation. It's people that really need charity. They really need help. The Six of Swords is leaving past baggage behind. This is like emotions, communication. It's water under the bridge, okay? Like we're sailing away from it and we're going towards the future. See, that's kind of closure. But the Hierophant reversed. The Hierophant, when it's upright, is the major arcana for Taurus, and it's the teacher. It's someone who's learned all their lessons and they're now wise. Okay, it's someone that enjoys to tell others about their harsh experiences and the way that they've suffered, because they don't want other people to suffer the same, you know, experiences. They weren't nice, they weren't comfortable. So this is no longer the student, they're the teacher. But when it's reversed, someone's worried that they're not being wise. Do you see like how it's like negative, positive, negative, positive, negative? The emotions are like really up and down, and the way that they're seeing something's really up and down. See, these are collective readings, so you come in and you watch it and it, you know, it should resonate generally. But if you want a personal reading and you want to know, like, this is my person, this is me, and this is like when I'm gonna hear from them again and all that, like, you know, definite like situation, it's £18, and you can email me. My email is jen3585@gmail.com. You can private message me on TikTok or IG. It's all Seven Chakras Tarot, so you can find me. The turnaround time is 24 hours. And if it's a love reading, it'll be like a good 40 minutes. So £18 for like almost an hour is pretty good. And you know it's your story. Okay. I've got very good feedback on my community page. I've got client testimonials. But to be honest, I watch collective readings. I probably buy personal readings a couple of times a year. Most of the time, collective readings resonate. So, watch their sign, watch your sign. I'll start doing live Q&As, but they would be called a live Q&A, and they would just be people asking questions, and they would have paid like £10 per question or something. It's never free, because you're just asking someone to wait for free otherwise. And they would never be interrupting a collective reading. There will be a separate live, and it will be called live Q&A. This is like a watch and listen, you know, and you can chat if you want to. So they have got the King of Cups reversed. The King of Cups upright is someone who's patient, understanding, caring, forgiving. That water is pooling around his feet because it's so calm. It's not rapid, it's not crashing waves. It's calm, you know? And so that represents the emotions of the King of Cups. Even if this person's under stress, because all people, you know, are under stress, they kind of exude calm. Okay, they'll be like a duck, so their feet will be going beneath the surface of the water, but you would never know it to look at them, because this person prefers to take the stress and absorb it and only emit like positive vibes, you know, that is heavy work doing that. I go into schools and I smile at everyone, and most people don't smile back. And then over time it changes. But to start with, when you're doing that, sometimes you feel like a bit of a mug, don't you? Because you're like, I'm giving lots of my like heart to people, and I'm giving a lot of my sunshine to people, and it's kind of just getting wasted. And some people will say, well, don't smile, then like just keep that for yourself, keep that energy level like up by not doing that. And I'm like, but that's not my personality. Do you know what I mean? So this person, they're not in that King of Cups like vibe anymore. They haven't got those reserves to do that. They can't afford that kindness to people. There's been too much drama, too much heartache, too much water under the bridge, you know. I think they're going to keep their feelings close to them and shut that heart chakra down a little bit because they can't afford it. Interesting. Oh, is that resonating, Michael? Hi, Rio. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I haven't got like... I haven't been scrolling through, but it's a lot of people trying to push to get their own questions answered. Okay, that's not what it's for. The Seven of Cups reversed. Okay, the Seven of Cups when it's upright is a blank canvas. It's when we're at a crossroads and we are thinking, what picture do I want for myself? What am I going to paint as my future? What does that look like? What does my happiness look like going forwards? And it's really like a genuine kind of question that you stood as an artist in front of a canvas and you're like, what does my happiness look like? You know? Sometimes people do that from within a marriage or a relationship, and they're sitting thinking like, What does my happiness look like? You know, when it's reversed, so it's being at a crossroads in your life, when it's reversed, it's crossing over from daydreaming into like fantasy and delusion, because we're spending so much time doing that. And that's generally because the reality isn't comfortable. Like, our current situation is not nice. Things are not sorted. There are not conclusions to stuff. There are not answers. There is not a way to fix everything right now. You know, financial obligations or obstacles, legal obligations or obstacles, emotional, you know, barriers, like whatever it is that's in the way. There could be lots of things. It's not going to be easily solved. So I'm going to spend lots of my time thinking about what I do want life to look like, you know, like in the next year, or when things have improved, like circumstances have improved. This is what I want my life to look like. Okay, so they're spending a lot of time in that sort of like fantasy state. Let's get 3 for the outcome. I mean, that is a coping mechanism as well, isn't it? Because you're trying to sort of visualize what you want things to be like, so you can then create goals and create steps to reaching those goals and keep your kind of like vibration up. So it's, I think they're in a period of trying to be resilient when perhaps it feels like everything's shitty. Okay. So we've got a combination of the Knight of Swords reversed, the Wheel of Fortune upright, and the Two of Pentacles reversed. In terms of balance and reciprocity, the wheel is turning upright. That wheel being upright is that's upright, okay? It's not affected by these ones that are reversed. The wheel's upright, okay? So the universe has got our back. There has been a lack of reciprocity and balance and duality. The Knight of Swords reversed is someone who's got something they really want to get off their chest and they're not doing it. They're not doing it. Let's get a couple more for the outcome. So in the outcome, someone really wants to get something off their chest, and you know, they feel like this is an opportune time. The universe is like, you know, starting to remove obstacles, and where we haven't had stability and balance and reciprocity, we could be moving towards that potentially. They're not individual readings, they're collective readings by zodiac sign. So we are in the middle of Taurus. I think what a lot of people might be looking for is a live question and answer session, and this isn't it, and it doesn't say it in the title. The Fool reversed, okay? So the Fool upright is Aries energy, and that is someone who's ready to take a leap of faith. See, that 0 is a reset. And this is someone who's just like, oh my God, everything's going to go so well. And they're like fooling themselves. They're about to jump off a ledge. And it could be fine. It could be fine. But it could be not fine. Okay? But they're prepared to take their chances. Now, with that reverse, this person's not prepared to take their chances. The Tower reversed. What strange energy. The Tower upright, it's more Aries energy. We've got a lot of Aries energy here, a lot of fire. And we've got pentacles and we've got cups. We've got some swords. There's like a good mixture of energy, to be honest with you. But it's like such a period of uncertainty for you both, like as individuals. And so how can you feel secure together when everything's so turbulent for you as individuals right now? The Tower, when it's upright, it's major change. It's destruction of existing situations. So that could be, things that can get pulled down, or, if your work tells you that you're losing your job, that is a Tower moment. If someone tells you they're leaving you, that's a Tower moment. If, a Tower doesn't always have to be bad, but it's life-changing. So you could find out that you're pregnant, and that would be like, your life's not going to be the same again, is it? And it doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but you're not going to be the person that you were before you had a baby. Everything changes. So yes, there are examples of towers. Towers do have to fall, okay? Because what replaces a tower is something superior, something improved, something with a better, stronger structure is put in the place of the crumbling tower, the tower that's like ready to fall. This is a tower that needs to fall, and when it's reversed, we're not allowing it. We're not allowing it. What this says to me is like, if you're playing a game of poker, what's it called when you don't? Is it like when you stick or you stay, or you like, you're not willing to put another card on the table, you're not willing to gamble, is it? I feel like people cannot gamble when they can't afford it emotionally. Maybe they can't afford it financially. So it's like, this is creating stagnancy. Okay, it's fear because the things are literally insecure, like in a practical sense, in an emotional sense. One causes the other. So, if you don't know what's going on with your finances, if you've been hurt in the past and you haven't got any guarantee from the other person that it's going to be all right, no one can guarantee that as well. Like, if your individual situations are not the best, maybe this is okay, this energy, maybe it just is a reflection of like how things are at the moment. I'm just having a look to see what you're showing up as. You're showing up as a king. Okay, so masculine energy. They're showing up as a king, masculine energy, but you're both feeling weak at the moment. So I feel like that is very indicative of this entire reading. You're both feeling weak at the moment. I'm going to call it that. Let's get messages from them. Let me scribble that down. Where's my pencil? Probably haven't got my pencil now. There it is. You're both feeling weak at the moment. That's Taurus. And Aries was Okay, let's get messages from them. It could be, it doesn't mean that you're not in contact. These are no contact cards, but I personally think they're just really good for them giving you a message when they're not actually talking. This is what they would say, or this is what they're thinking. I don't take it as like, oh, you haven't spoken to them for months or anything like that. People can be around you without really opening up, can't they? Oh my God, look. Focused on money. I'm currently focusing on my career and finances. My main priority is financial stability. There's immediate financial, danger. So it's a necessity to focus on that and only that really at the moment. So, when you're trying to rebalance finances, you got, hideous outgoings and not enough coming in. Everything has to go on that. That is how we feel safe and secure in 2025 in a civilized human world. We have to have good finances, and if we don't, it's not like, oh, they're not perfect. It's like, this is critical. I'm at a situation, I'm at a set of circumstances that are really not financially favorable, and I'm bleeding money. I'm hemorrhaging money like there's no tomorrow. So I need to figure this out. Okay, so honestly, like, that could be going on both sides. It doesn't have to be, but when you think about the chakras, okay, I'm going to turn this around, because your root chakra, we're not often running from danger, but your fight or flight system, your emergency system responds when you don't have your finances, and they're actually really, really terrible. You get very tense, because you don't feel secure. You could lose the roof over your head. You could lose your car, your assets. You could lose your job if you can't focus and work. Maybe trying to find a job, or, move into a different field or something. So, that it's like, until that's really sorted, you're not going to be moving on to the sacral chakra, where you're all like in your feels and ready to like put eggs in a nest, because your nest is under threat, isn't it? Does that make sense? One chakra leads on to the next. Okay, and that's what brings out confidence, and then an open heart chakra, and that's when we talk about our feelings, and we're able to forgive and be all like, high vibrational, and then we get our spirituality and wisdom and everything, and trust in the universe. This is situation critical, okay? And it could be on both sides. So just, I think it's like going to be a little bit of a waiting game. You can't just stoically like pull all the weight along and then get frustrated that things haven't changed right now, because external circumstances have to, opportunity meets preparation. You've done your preparation, Taurus. Like, Crosswatch has done their preparation, but we've got to now wait for the opportunities to come along. Okay. What's the nature of this connection? Free yourself. You don't need to be in control. You don't need to be in control of everything for a love relationship to be successful. Is that not what I've just been saying? We can't control life 100% of the time. You've done what you're in control of, okay? We now need to ask the universe to make it so. We need to think about what it was and is that we want, and then we need to trust that it's going to be okay, It's not a live Q&A, so I don't know why you're putting questions in the chat. These are collective readings by zodiac sign, meaning I do the reading and you guys watch it and you see if it resonates. And you can watch the sign of your person and see if that resonates, but you don't put your questions in the chat, okay? That's why I'm not answering you, because that's not what this session is, and it's not called a live Q&A, so I don't know anyone's doing that. I'm obsessed with your body. What do you want? Right, okay. This person very, very passionate about you. They love your sex. They love what you look like. Okay, no qualms with that. Very, very passionate about you, Taurus. What do you want for? So they're wondering if you want something stable. Remember that 4 is the most stable number in tarot, and the 4 of Wands is marriage, living together. So this person's wondering when their financial situation improves, if it needs to, when your financial situation improves, if it needs to, when they're both like better, what is it that you want? Like, are you looking to be in an exclusive relationship? Are you looking to, you know, put 3 pentacles in and they put 3 pentacles in, you know, or 5 pentacles in and 5 pentacles in? Like, are we going to become the 10 of pentacles? Are we going to be exclusive? Are we going to, do you know what I mean? They're like, what is it that you want? Because they don't know. Let's get confessions from them. We've got a lot of confessions here. Oh, Taurus. Taurus, you are the only one I see. Okay, that's what your person. Look at this. Look. I'm obsessed with your body. You're the only one that I see. What do you want? I'm focused on my career and finances. So we've got that twice, okay, from 2 different decks. They have to focus on that. If they drop the ball, then it could be disaster. It could be loss of car, loss of house, you know, breakdown of connections with family or, you know, work. So they have to focus on that. Ooh, your intelligence is so hot. I like it. They like your body, but they like your mind as well. I need to heal my inner child wounds. Okay. I am thinking about reaching out. Okay, so if they're not speaking with you much at the moment, they will do. I think time apart is best for us right now. Oh. I'm scared of getting hurt, so I act like I don't care. They may at times create distance, okay? Because they're not in their like positive masculine energy, and neither are you. So that can do that, like proud, you know, egotistical, confident, arrogant, you know, high status. They're not in that vibe and you're not, so you are wifey husband material. That's cute. Okay, so this is what they think about when they're daydreaming and fantasizing. I told you that they're not in a space where their circumstances can allow for this right now, and you might not be, but they spend a lot of time fantasizing about a future and they don't know what you want. They love your body, they love your intelligence. There isn't anyone else that they're thinking about. But sometimes they create space between the two of you. They have to focus on money. There's some sort of critical situation with money. We've got obsessed twice. They're obsessed, Taurus, like. I think you're very funny. You think you're really funny. You don't need to be in control of everything for a love relationship to be successful. Okay, if someone makes themselves a bit distant, you might want to call them out on it, but you may also want to like look at all of this. You may also want to like allow it and just, because really, if you call them out on it, can they really fix everything right now? They can't. Are they under a lot of pressure? Yeah. Are you in a great position at the moment? Maybe not. Are you under a lot of pressure? Yeah. I think it's going to be a feel it out. And just whatever you feel like you need to say it, okay? But I wouldn't be. I'm sorry for being so toxic. So they did say they had inner child wounds, and they can be toxic at times. They're aware that they do that. You're gonna have to use your discernment. Your independence is sexy. I feel like you can see right through me. They know that you're onto them. They can't really hide from you. They can't hide from you, okay? Like, you call them out on their shit, and you are intuitive, you are an empath, you are like very sensitive to other people and what they're going through. So if they're creating space, maybe it's because they feel a bit ashamed or they don't feel proud. Do you know what I mean? They want like a bit of dignity, Taurus. And you might be like, I don't care, or like, but I'm in the same boat or whatever, but they want some dignity. People like to sort things out and then come back. Like the Emperor, they like to come back. Like the King of Wands upright. They like to come back. Like the King of Pentacles upright. The King of Cups upright. They don't want to be reversed. They don't want to be like a shit version of themselves and be like, and this is who I am. Do you know what I mean? And it goes the same for you, but I find that I kind of look at love as if like, well, that should be enduring and everything else is always going to change anyway. Your finances are going to constantly be up and down. You're going to have good periods with money, bad periods of money. You have periods where you're doing 2 jobs or 1 job or unemployed. And I've always been that kind of like romantic that's like, but love would be continuing anyway. But perhaps if this is like early on in a connection, or this is just this personality, they don't feel proud of like how things are at the moment. So you need to let them have their dignity. Okay. You being nice to them might make them feel worse, not better. I don't know. They like how independent you are. They see you as successful. They see you as someone that knows how to be happy outside of love. Okay, you've got like a connection with the divine. You've got great friends. You've got so many like hobbies and like cultural like injections, you know, from this way and that way, and you express yourself and you're so free. Like, you know how to be comfortable, but you can also get it together, like what you look like. you're wifey material in this person's eyes, but they have some sort of critical financial situation to deal with. And that causes them to create some kind of distance. So if you've been calling someone out for that, I think if something they're doing makes you really unhappy, you are going to have to communicate that. Because it is being called toxic behavior, and toxic is, that kills relationships, doesn't it? So if it's unreasonable, you're going to have to call them out on it. But it wouldn't be reasonable to expect someone to be in a good mood all the time, or it wouldn't be reasonable to like expect certain things when finances are critical. But there's certain things that you require to feel cared for, or certain things that you need to maintain a healthy relationship. And so, I've said to my person, I need regular communication. I can't have you disappearing on me, because that creates emotional instability, and then that creates me not being able to focus on work and stuff like this. Like, I don't need the drama. I need like stability, and it doesn't cost you anything to like communicate with me. Um, how much space is too much? This was too much. Like, what this person did was too much, so I told them, and they've been really good since. So, interestingly, a lot of the Taurus readings have been about boundaries, and making sure that you just communicate your needs. If you think something's become toxic, if it's unreasonable, communicate it. But this person, like, oh my god, like, you got half the deck. For feelings, there's half a deck here, and the only one that's negative is time apart, and that might be part of their toxic behavior because they're embarrassed about how things are right now. But they love your independence, they love how funny you are, they love that your husband or wife your material, they love your body, they're obsessed with you, there's no one else. They love your intelligence, like, come on, like, this person's like, they've got that for, haven't they? Like, what is it that you want, because they're cooking it up for you. I'm going to try to. What's this childhood wounds and like toxic patterns of behavior? Okay, they've got a secret past. Skeletons in the closet, not telling the whole story. So something that happened in the past with this person affects how they respond to situations they're not comfortable with now. So like with career and finances, they're kind of like coping mechanism is to like evade or run away, or like, like a wounded animal takes itself under like a van, and it thinks it's going to die or something. It's that kind of, there's some sort of like response and like pattern of behavior that this person doesn't, they know that it's toxic, they're quite aware of it. Whirlwind, don't get caught up in the drama, choose peace. I don't want to get these the wrong way around. Refreshed romance, cleanse past sorrows, be charmed anew, and embrace the joy of a fling. See, they're trying to like, they could have had a lot of drama in the past as well. They've got some sort of secret past where there was a lot of drama, and they really love like your energy, and like your presence makes them feel really happy. they're enjoying, like, you know, the pleasures of seeing you and being like physical with you. They really enjoy that. Legacies, rebirth, honor history's remains to restore and breathe life into forgotten tales. It's someone that you could have been off and on with quite a lot. Controlling. Power struggles lead to being manipulative. So in the past, they've been in like a very controlling relationship. So this could be a relationship, you know, with the person they have loved previously, or it could be family, like a parent or something, but they felt like they were like in a very controlled environment. Masked realities, beyond posing facades and cover-ups, dare to unveil the truth hidden beneath. So they often put on like a front of like how they want everyone to see them. And so when you hide, it's because you don't want people to see you the way that you are like right now, okay? So it's not that there's anyone else, and it's not that they're not sure about you, Taurus, if they start doing their funny business. Which is good. Wow. I'm not sure. That's a very angry message that's being hidden. If you put anything aggressive in the chat, even if it's not aimed at me, it'll just hide it, because it's that's just how it is. Did I get a card then? Keeping a promise, falling apart, falling into pieces. That's interesting that they came out together. I think in this person's past, they were incredibly loyal, and it didn't work out for them. It didn't work out for them to be like that, but I don't think that's like a block here, because like they obviously already love you. Like, look at all this shit here, like it's that's overwhelming. Do you know what I mean? It speaks for itself. It's like, just know that this person has had a failed, you know, relationship where they were very much dedicated to it, and so they have been hurt. They have lived a life. Soul contract, soulmate, partnership, spiritual union. What else do I need to get you? More clarification. Why does this person do these escape behaviors, like running away, hiding, toxic behaviors? Engagement ring, engagement, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, union. There could have been a completion of a soul contract with someone else. Boat, receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, closure issues. Yeah, so they're closing out something with it's a full-on soul contract, just one from the past. This could be what's affecting finances as well. They may sometimes need time to grieve that, or you know, whatever transition or changes they're going through could be very, very major, and so they don't want to be around others all of the time, because that's part of your hermit work. It's part of your isolation, you know, where you get to kind of look inward and process everything. People need space to do that. They need some time and some space to do that. We've got they'll be back. Expect to hear from them soon. Confession. Someone has something to tell you. Ooh. So, yeah, you may be getting a significant kind of communication from them when they proper open up about stuff. Maybe they'll tell you some of this. And so you'll be able to understand a bit more, Taurus. Let's get you some advice. We've got Gaia. The frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our Great Mother and to the universe that birthed us all. Okay, so if you start to feel like alone or distanced and like removed from a situation, just remember that you're not, you're like 100% in it. Okay, it's like sacred geometry. You're one of the dots, you know, in that like pattern that is continuous. It has no beginning, has no end. It's all interconnected in every direction. So, you know, don't feel like you're cutting loose or like you've been cut loose, you know, like an astronaut where they're like drifting out into space, like away from where they're supposed to be. That's not the reality. Okay, that's like fear and anxiety. It's perception. Empowerment. The frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we are all connected through the same source. And like a very similar message, very, very nice actually. So when you reframe it, you realize that like actually you're in a really good position. You're in a better position than what you see yourself. Miracle. The frequency of miracle supports our belief in ourselves as a part of source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. I mean, you know, that's really nice. I'm going to leave them in a heart shape. The universe giving you a big hug and a squeeze. You are not alone, okay? Not at all. Remember that in the flower of life, that sacred geometry, that pattern that has no beginning and no end, that's how money flows around. So with the cross watcher and with this with you, sorry, if there's financial difficulty, money comes, money goes, and money comes back again. Okay, so I've already started to see that happen for me. It's very, very difficult to stay positive there, isn't it? Like, it's very, very difficult, but energy flows. Energy is not created, nor is it destroyed. Money is energy. Love is energy, okay? This person has so much love for you. So much love for you. But sometimes they need space because that's one of their patterns, because they don't want to be a wounded animal in front of people. Does that make sense? But you've got to also pull them up if it's got toxic and you're like, hang on a minute, that's way out of like what I would view as a healthy relationship. You've got to like call them out on it when you need to, okay? Thanks for the loves. Did I do this one? I don't know if I did. Serenity. Find serenity in nature's embrace. Nature is your sanctuary. Okay. Yeah. I've been thinking about going for a wellies walk actually, 'cause it's a beautiful time of year. It could be a challenge now that I'm working again, but at least I would say at the minimum at the weekends I need to be getting out. I need to be getting out in the woods and getting all like Mother Earth. I think that's good advice for the cross watcher as well. Okay, retreat into nature, be at one, get yourself grounded. Don't let all, it's tough times, right? But that's why you need to like consciously get yourself outdoors and get all wrapped up and stuff. Get your hot chocolate or your mulled wine or, you know, your apple cider, like your hot coffee, whatever it is that you vibe with. You don't need any of that, to be honest, but just to be wrapped up outdoors, listening to bird songs, sitting in the sun, streaming between the trees, the leaves, listening to the breeze, like, you know, seeing animals all being busy and productive. Seeing like a calm environment, being immersed in that reality is really going to help you through all of this, like, craziness. Uncertainty, should we say, like uncertainty and oh dear, I am so sorry. Right, where are we up to? I need to get you a good luck card. Hang on a minute, did I do this one? I don't know if I did the broken mirror one. I know this isn't advice, but like, I don't think I did it. It's clarification. Oh, sick and tired cycles over it, decision made. That dog looks exhausted, looks fed up. Yeah, you don't have to be in control of everything. Just let it go and let it flow. Okay. They were part of the cards that clarified that person's past, by the way. So there was some sort of cycle. It was very difficult and repetitive, and they've made a final decision about it. Okay, if they are closing something out, they're so over it. The magic within you is growing stronger. Use it wisely. You could be a psychic or someone intuitive, or you could just be really good at reading people, you know, like people that you care about. Sometimes you can read what someone's going through and use that as a way to sort of like give them a bit of leeway, cut them a bit of slack, you know, rather than like pull them up on stuff. Or obviously, if it gets to a point where it's not healthy and it's like toxic behavior, you can have a go, but you can also like, you got to decide how to use your intuition and your sort of like powers of your Claire powers, you know. A wish upon a star will soon come true. Something you've asked for is going to be brought into fruition, which is really nice. Oops. Eclipsed truth. Hidden truths are being revealed to you. Embrace the clarity that follows. Yeah, I think that's to do with, I think you're learning stuff about yourself, but I think this person gonna tell you, they're gonna confide in, like, a bit more about their past or their patterns of behavior or what's going on with them now. There's gonna be, like, a bit more of an outpouring of, like, honesty or vulnerability. Um, so sort of, like, knowing how difficult that is for them, that's kind of indicative of how much, they care about you. Oh, cute. 7777 perseverance. Change of perspective, reflection, inner strength, wisdom, and enlightenment. There's a need for a change of perspective on whatever is taking over you now. If you want to succeed, you need to keep going down the road that you want. Reach for the wisdom within, and then you'll just know what the right next step is. Nice. Okay, yeah. So it's like we're going to steady the helm. We're going to keep going, okay, through the storm. Very, very like in-depth messages, but really, really potent, important ones. Get yourselves out in nature, okay? Get grounded. Steady yourself, you know? And enjoy like how much this person like holds for you, okay? Right, take care, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give it a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel, hype the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. The other signs will be done over the next few days. I'm back working full time as a high school teacher, and I have an interview on Thursday as well. So it's very, very hectic. So I'm just going to spread out, the signs throughout the week. Have a lovely rest of your evening or day wherever you are.